Why wouldn't I want more for myself? Why wouldn't I want to give my children every opportunity to rest, knowing what my ancestors went through, knowing the path it took even with my parents? Why wouldn't I want to rest? Why wouldn't I want to marry up, and up above me? Not above me in terms of like wealth. Like, why wouldn't I want to rest? There's no reward for suffering. Don't give me that he don't gotta have money crap. Save it. No one cares about that opinion. Hi, I'm Deanna. This is Jackie, and as a rare appearance, this is also Bucky. Welcome to Glow in Peace. Today's video, we're gonna be talking about rest. You deserve rest. I'm in my bed for a reason. You know why? Because I'm tired. And in our productivity-centered capitalist society, we don't really encourage rest. Rest is seen as laziness. Rest is seen as you have no ambition. Rest is seen as almost like worthlessness. Like, if you rest, you're not productive, and if you're not productive, you can't contribute anything, and if you can't contribute anything, you have no value. You have value. You need to rest. I understand we all, you have jobs, you have responsibilities, but you need to rest when you can, because rest is amazing. I'm very grateful to be in a position where I can rest. And before you're like, oh my God, not everybody's as fortunate as you, blah da 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 da, you're just privileged. You're so privileged. I can't rest. Let me tell you something about Deanna East. Jackie and Bucky, they know. I deserve rest, and so do you. And I'm not saying I'm more deserving, because there are other people who have been through it. But let me tell you something. I've had a rough go of it, okay? If you're new to my channel, know this. At 16, I was diagnosed with cancer. 8 months later, at 17, I had a recurrence of said illness. The second time around was 4th stage. My cancer, alveolar soft part sarcoma. Fun fact that I just found out literally 2 days ago. Alveolar soft part sarcoma is one of the most rare forms of cancer. You know how I know? Because the little statistics and research that is shown, because there's not a lot of this cancer, sarcomas make up what? 1% of all cancers. Okay? Alveolar soft part sarcoma makes up 0.2% of all sarcomas. It is actually the rarest sarcoma. So, when I tell you I beat the odds, I sure beat the odds. I was the first person at Yale diagnosed with said cancer. You take that, plus childhood trauma, plus I actually fought cancer while going to college. You take all of that, you wrap it up in one. And then you deal with life, and in college, starting a Christian club, getting slapped in my face with said Christian club, having friendship, betrayal, all of that for the past 5-6 years. Math isn't my thing. I have just been working. And you know what? I beat myself up fighting cancer in college. I thought I was worthless when I would sleep. I thought I was worthless when I wanted to take a nap, because I should have kept going. I fought cancer in college, and you know what the expectation with some of my professors were very kind and they understood. Others were like, no one cares. Oh, you have cancer? That's cute. Because when I said turn it in by 11:59, that's exactly what I meant. Oh, bone pain? Cute. Good for you. Where's my assignment? Oh, you don't have it? F. You'll fail my class. And what about it? I don't have time to worry about you. I'm busy grading papers and barely teaching a class in the style of switching through PowerPoint slides, which you could do on your own. And I'm a tenured professor. What do I care about you and your problems? It's funny because the tripod is being held up by my UConn yearbook, which I just got a couple days ago. I don't know why. I just wanted to add that in. But you take that, and always being the type of person that's there for people and no one's there for you. I'm always the kind of person that's, there for people, that listens to people but is never heard. who is patient and people then are short with, who is understanding and people regard with no compassion. I'm undergoing an identity shift because some things aren't coming into 2023 with me. The person I am is, I don't think I'm the same person or going to be the same person because I value rest above everything. Now, God wants you to rest. God, obviously, He wants you to, take care of your responsibilities. Like, don't not go to work. Like, I didn't say that. But if you're in a work environment that is draining you, that is just taking a lot away from you, or if you're in school and you need to take a step back, take a semester off, do that. Don't do what I did with school. I ignored every single red flag in the book. I had my cancer got worse. The tumors, they were starting to like regress. But then after my first semester, they were starting to grow again. You know why? Because I was stressed out of my freaking mind. Jackie and Bucky were there. They'll tell you. I don't want to do anything. I made a video called The Feminine Urge to Do Nothing. And I'll say it again, but somebody in a now deleted comment said that I look like a foot and I'll be relegated to 9 to 5. They didn't say relegated because I'm pretty sure they don't have the intellectual capacity to know that. I'm pretty sure their vocabulary is not that extensive. Because an intelligent person doesn't say stuff like that. But okay. It's not laziness. Someone said laziness is like a puritanical myth, get you to get you to be in a constant state of doing, because our society is dependent upon us doing and doing and doing and doing. So if we decide to rest, it's like you're going against the status quo of doing. And then on top of that, you have like hustle and grind culture that says if you're not constantly doing something, you're lazy. I'm not lazy. And even if I was, what has that got to do with you? I need to rest, and I need to stop beating up myself about resting. You need to rest. Hence why I'm making this video. Because I said it in my last video, this channel helps me to make sense of my thoughts. And it also helps to know that I'm not the only one that is experiencing these thoughts. I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm not the only one that desires rest. I'm not lazy. I'm tired. I am spent. I have suffered enough. You know what I want to do? Sleep. Make focaccia bread and roasted garlic and smear it on that bread and drink a nice glass of sparkling wine. You know what else I want to do? Go to the spa. Even let's just stick to home. Practice my guitar. So many things I couldn't do because I was so tired. Now that I rest, I can focus my energy and do the things I want. Read my cute little romance, historical piece novels. Spend time in my word. Talk to God about stuff, and it's not like I'm in a constant state of panic talking. Like, what you been up to, God? How's everything? I read this word. Let's talk about it. I saw this butterfly. It was really cool. Hang out with Jackie and Bucky. They grow up so fast. Bucky is turning 14 on December 8th. December 7th, sorry Bucky. Jackie just turned 13. They grow up so fast. My aromatherapy diffuser's on. You guys can't see it. Maybe you can a little bit, but I have my plants. I get to decorate my room. I get to be filled with so much peace. I want this for all of us. I understand, like, we have to work. There are certain things we have to do. If I don't consistently make YouTube videos, my revenue will reflect that. It already is, but I'll make it up. You know why? Because I am a money magnet. Money loves me. It just comes to me and it just sticks to me. And money loves me because it's like, well, what's the purpose of money? Let's think. To be spent, right? So money says, I'm going to come to this girl because she likes to spend me. So I'm just going to give her more money to spend. And I'll just keep giving her more money to spend. Like, let's be for real. And people are like, oh, you don't like to save. You're not a. My dad's like, you're not a saver. No, my problem isn't that I need to save. My problem is I just need to make more money. Cause how am I gonna travel and do things? Okay, but I'm gonna do it in a rest-like manner. I can't do it in a panicked-like manner. Okay, cause then I will be too sick. I've done this. I have I have worked. My education cost me dearly. It cost me everything. It cost me my health. It cost me a social life. It cost me severely. And now I'm expected to like, okay, well you gotta, and what's your next move? That's the thing. That's a question I get asked a lot. So what's your next move? What's your next move? I'm gonna go take a nap. And after that, maybe have a slice of pie. That's my next step. Or what do you want to do? My dream is to be a doctor. And my goal, did I tell y'all this? I don't remember. I don't mean in this video, but in other videos. I don't know if I told you. But my plan was to, as soon as I graduated college, I was going to take like one, not even a full year, but a year off to apply to college and apply to med school. And so I can go to med school and take the MCAT and do all these things and then boom, go to med school. And so the day I graduated college, the next day I actually started taking a summer, another class. I had to take this art credit. They were like, oh, you're missing an art credit. I'm like, I've taken so many arts classes. Yeah, it was this very specific arts credit. A scam. By the way, I hadn't had a summer break since ever. The last time I had a summer break was when I went into, college. That summer of 2017. That's the last time I had a period off. A summer break. Because I had been taking summer classes every semester to catch up from coming home my freshman year. That second semester I had to come home because I made my cancer worse. That's how stressed out I was, y'all. Because I did not eat. There came a time in the semester that I really didn't eat. I wasn't taking my treatment meds. I wasn't taking the accompanying holistic meds. I wasn't taking my pain meds because they made me drowsy. I didn't eat, and when I did, it was like not healthy to be like pizza or chicken tenders. It wasn't healthy when I rarely did eat. I was throwing up. I was passing out. It was a mess. A mess. I was losing weight, yet feeling bloated. It was a mess. College is hard enough, but then I wanted to add fighting 4th stage cancer, which also, I don't know, y'all bear with me. I'm trying to process this myself as I'm talking. When it gets to 4th stage, any cancer, there's really not much they can do for you at that point. And when it gets to 4th stage of a cancer that there's barely any research about, then it's like, essentially pack it up. Like, there's really not much. And then when I remember going to the doctor and being like, I'm like my body is like almost shutting down. This is terrible. And they're like, oh, maybe being I'm not saying they're like, maybe rethink being a doctor. And it's just like, I wish they'd been like, a couple doctors did say to me, like, you still can be a doctor. And I guess they're saying this, some were saying, rethink it because they understand what it takes. But it's not that I can't be a doctor. It's that I couldn't be it in the timing that I wanted to because I was fighting a life-threatening illness. That sole purpose is to consume your cells and take over you. Give me a break. Like, I can still pursue my goals and achieve them. I just got to do it in a way that works for me. So forgive me if all I want to do right now is sleep. Forgive me if all I want to do right now is rewatch my favorite shows, crochet, hang out with Jackie and Bucky, drink tea, and daydream, and pray about the life that I have, and thank God for the life I have to rest. I'm just so happy for the time to rest. It feels nice. And You need to rest. You got to take if you get a slither of time to rest. Even if it's for 10 minutes, rest. And I think the hardest part about resting is being present. Because your mind will want to go, well, what about this issue? What about this unresolved trauma? What about this? Oh, the kids. Oh, the car. Oh, the husband. Oh, the wife. Oh, this. Oh, then the next day. And then the next day. And then the next day. The hardest thing about rest is just sitting there. You have to practice. In order to rest, you have to learn how to practice silence. And I'll make a video about how I'm learning there is power in silence. And I don't mean just shutting up. That helps. I mean silence. Because you have the power to control your thoughts. You have the power to control your emotions. You're not subject to your body. It don't run things. You run it. You tell your mind to shut up. You tell your mind what to think. You tell your mind, or you tell your emotions how you want to feel. I don't want to feel this way. I don't have to feel this way. I don't have to feel sad. I'm going to make myself happy. And I'm going to do stuff that makes me happy. Even if I don't got that much money. I'm going to color, shoot, make a brownie. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to rewatch my favorite movie. Don't confuse this for suppression of your emotions. Sometimes there will be times where you will have to ride the wave, the emotion wave, the mind wave. I feel sad. If I've constantly repressed this emotion, then I have to let it in. I have to feel sad, and I got to let it out. And there's a time to do that. And there's also a time to be like, nah. Especially when you're having like a great day and you got your nice coffee, everything is out, and then boom, somebody want to come. And it's usually somebody is involved. Like, oh, you got this text or someone at work or someone. It's like, no. Because I can't go to jail. And I can't, because I'm not going to beat this person over the head. That's what my mind is telling me to do. Or my mind is telling me to be sad, be upset, be annoyed for the rest of the day. No. So, I hope there was some part of this video that's like, yeah, I can see that for myself. Like, stop being so hard on yourself. I'm very hard on myself. You should know that about me. I mean, I kind of told you without telling you, but I'm very hard on myself. When I don't post or when I don't do something, if I feel like I'm still trying to undo the part of my brain that's like, you gotta do, I'm like, no, you don't. What you need to do is nothing for a change. And there's so many other implications of this. Like, when first of all, women, I agree wholeheartedly that women shouldn't do anything but be pretty and be provided for. Like, God had it made when, even after Adam and Eve, they sinned. He said, you man, you work, woman, house, children. That's lit though. And women were never meant to like work. We were meant to be provided for. I'm in agreement with that. I don't know what they were fighting so hard back in the 20s for the women's right to work. They should have kept their mouths shut. They should have shut it on up. They was too loud. They should have known the power of silence. Okay? They wanted to work so bad. And for what? They pack it up. Because, and then to top it, you got black women. Do you know that in slavery, yes, because it's going to go back all the way there. First of all, as black people, when we were enslaved, if you weren't working, you were lazy. God forbid you didn't want to be brutalized. God forbid you didn't want to be subject to actual torture and work to the point where you will die, to the point of death. Do people think there was like HR in slavery? Like, oh, take a break. They worked them they couldn't work no more till they were dead. Women, children, men, old people, when you couldn't work, dead, bury you, throw you in an unmarked grave, I don't know. And as black women, who are unfortunately the pillar of the black community, because I don't know what's with this new crop of black men, but we have got to do something. We gotta do something. This new crop of black men, I don't know what this effeminate, sissy type of podcast 50-50, and I don't know what's worse. I mean, they are the silent majority, but I don't know what's worse. It's that they're loud, or that the black men who aren't like that aren't checking them on the internet. Like, you can't, like, I wonder why they're not saying, like, you can't talk about black women this way. You can't talk about women, period, this way. But especially black women. What is wrong with y'all? Stop this. So, now black women have to be every woman. I'm not every woman. I'm me. I'm Deanna. And that's more than enough. And we have to work. We got to be the ones to clean, to cook, to sometimes fulfill masculine roles, to be the heads of the household. When I tell y'all, you see how I'm in this cute little robe with my kangaroo and my cow? Exactly. I was so meant to be wealthy. I'm not even talking rich. I'm talking like there are not enough zeros in the world. Because I like nice things. I like to rest. What do I look like? Struggling. Like, every generation's supposed to do better. My grandparents, they came to this country. They had to, well, they weren't struggling, but they wanted to come. My family's from Jamaica. I'm first generation Jamaican. My grandparents came, made sure they had enough for all and mind you, big families. So my mom and her 8 siblings, my dad and his 5 siblings all came up here when they were kids. Then my parents, my dad worked all his life. You should know this. He worked his entire life. He worked from the time he was 12 years old to the time he was 61. That's a chunk of your life. Because it was instilled as a little boy, like, you gotta work. So he worked at an auto mechanic shop, then he worked here, then he worked there, and then he worked there. My mom, she was working since a teenager. I couldn't work as a teen because I got cancer, and, you know. But then they didn't want that for me. They could have said, get a job, but they're like, no. Each generation does better, you know. My parents, their family, they couldn't afford to go on vacation and go to Disney. So what did my parents do? They took me on vacation. I went to Disney more times than I could count as a child. Universal. Every year we take a vacation. Sometimes 2-3 times a year. I remember 2017 we went away 3 times. Like, it's a lot. So why wouldn't I want more for myself? Why wouldn't I want to give my children every opportunity to rest, knowing what my ancestors went through, knowing the path it took, even with my parents? Why wouldn't I want to rest? Be for real. Why wouldn't I want to marry up, and up, above me? Not above me in terms of, like, wealth. Like, why wouldn't I want to rest? There's no reward for suffering. I heard that on a TikTok. I'm like, you're right. Someone's like, you gotta be with rich men. There's no reward for suffering. Don't give me that he don't gotta have money crap. Save it. No one cares about that opinion. Well, as long as he can... No! What did I say? When I put on my list, wealthy and husband list, and my parents are like, what's your idea of wealthy? I'm like, you don't want to know. Because there are not enough zeros. And my dad was like, well, what if he just had enough to, like... I said what I said. I said wealthy. I mean wealthy. Like, beyond Scrooge McDuck wealth. Yeah, exactly. No, is it Scrooge McDuck? I think so. And he had the big, you know, when he had the big gold, the big mound of gold, and he just took a dive in it. Exactly. I'm expensive. Don't play with me. And don't let anyone tell you that you don't deserve rest. You don't deserve to be in a situation where you can rest, to be in a relationship where you don't have to plan things. That's a form of resting too. You know, it's nice to be with them. I can imagine it'd be nice to be with a man who plans dates, who pays for dates. I'm not gonna argue with y'all about my standards, first of all. And you shouldn't argue about your standards. Because men should pay for dates. There's, rest, I imagine, in like courting, because I don't believe in dating. A man pays for everything. Show up, or he'll pick you up. And all you gotta do is be there and look cute. He will pay for everything. He gives you gifts because you're deserving of those things. You're deserving of that. You deserve to have that rest. You don't deserve to, then I gotta plan this day. Okay, and then no, let him take care of it. That's what men are for, to provide. What are these podcast men? I don't get me started. But I'm saying, I deserve rest, you deserve rest, we deserve rest. What do Jackie and Bucky do? They rest, and they don't feel bad about it. So, speaking of rest, now I'm going to have a slice of coconut cake, crochet, keep watching my show, then I'm going to stretch. My dad wants me to go to the gym. He didn't lost it because I don't want to. And, especially when I stretch, because I stretch intensely. It's like a little workout. So, I'm good. Alright. So yeah, there's probably more I could say. I always have more to say. But I'm going to end this video here. Okay. I love you. Jackie loves you. Bucky. He thinks you're cool. And we'll see you in the next video.